up? This Chunky here. So, I'm back with another video. I'm not in my usual spot because that spot is taken over by clothes that need to be folded. Okay, let's just keep it 100, all the way 100. Also, I forgot to get something to drink, which really sucks. So I got like a hot ass water right here, and then I got this, and I don't even drink this type of shit, but there was an extra one, and I was just like, fuck it. So I did get some bomb ass food today. This is Lolitas, and they're known for their hard shell tacos. Mmm. 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 Really good. I think that's so weird. They gave me like a little bit of salsa, but I think their salsa is like super hot. So, and it's still warm. The salsa is still warm. Mmm. Mmm. It smells so good, you guys. It smells so good. So I'm gonna put a little bit just because I've gotten Lolitas before, and I got like my taco with salsa in it, and I was fucking dying, and I think that's even too much right there. Mmm. Mmm. It's hot. So I got hard shell tacos. I got tacos de papas, so it's a taco with potato in it. I got a meat taco, and I got what the fuck are these called? I can't think right now. I'm so hungry. What are these called? Taquitos. This chili is so hot, but it's so good. So I got taquitos. I got French fries. I got French fries with guacamole. Guacamole. So guys, I was just reading a DM of mine, and I have to tell you guys a story. So, y'all know, if you're new to my channel, I say true stories from my life, and I also have started sharing true stories from other people's lives, from your life. And if you follow me on Instagram, I put like I put a story out there, and I told you guys, hey, send me back some of your stories. I want to hear some bullshit that has happened in your life, because I've already damn near told. Wait, let me reverse. Let me rewind. Y'all, things are happening still in my life. Things are gonna happen in your life. They're not gonna stop. But when the day comes that shit stops happening in my life, I'm probably gonna be bored or dead. Either one. But listen, I wanted to hear from you guys. So a lot of people, I've shared a couple of stories now, and a lot of people have DM'd me. But I was reading this story on my DM that this girl sent me. Girl, you're gonna know who you are when I say this. So usually I have another phone with the screenshots of the DM so I can remember what she said. But it's a pretty long story, and she goes into like more detail, but I'm just gonna kind of like skim the surface, because if I sit here and read her whole story, it's gonna be a long video, and I'm just gonna be reading the whole time. So I'm just gonna kind of tell you from my own head, you know what I mean? So this girl DM me, she's talking about that she met this guy when she was younger. She was, I think, 17, she said. And she got together with this fool. Um, she said within 2 years of knowing him, they had a baby. So she ended up getting pregnant. You know, after she gets pregnant, they start trying to play house. They start living it together, and they start living together, and he starts like drinking. He starts getting a drinking problem, living with his homies, leaving her at home, of course. Same old fucking douchebag ass shit. Fucking douchebag ass motherfucker. Anyways, because I've been there. A little bitter. But anyways. So, he starts leaving her with the baby. He starts having a drinking problem. Then, she said he starts getting abusive. Of course, you know, when guys drink, they don't understand that they become abusive. Like, what the fuck? Like, they don't know who they are. They start getting angry. Things in their mind, in their head, it consume them. And then when they drink, they come out. Especially if they're not happy, you know? And if you develop a drinking problem, 9 times out of 10, it's because you have a problem that you need to deal with. Like, you need to deal with it in other ways other than like drinking and smoking and doing drugs and shit like that. Like, you need to deal with it another way, because all it's doing is just fucking up your life even more. Like, your life's already fucked up. Like, your head's already fucked up. Your heart's already fucked up. Like, shit's already fucked up inside. And then you're gonna drink on top of it. That's like just adding to the problem. And I know it sounds like, oh, you know, the cliche, but it's real shit. Like, it's real shit. So, you know, this fool who has a drinking problem, he's abusing her. He's treating her like shit. She tells me one scenario where, you know, he came home drunk. He would come home drunk from being with his friends, and he would treat her like shit, abuse her, talk shit to her, tell her she's a whore and all this stuff. You know, there was one night that he came home and he was treating her like shit, and she felt really awful, so she called one of her homegirls. So she calls one of her homegirls, and she comes, you know, to console her homegirl. Like, damn, homie, you know, you're having it bad right now. I'm gonna come over, like, chill with you. And she said that that her son and that fool were asleep in the house. And she said that girl picked her up, and that her homegirl picked her up, and they were sitting in the parking lot in their carport drinking a beer. Yeah. This meat is seasoned to perfection. I think it's ground beef. But you guys, the flavor of the meat is so bomb. I think that's what they're famous for the meat tacos, because the flavor is bomb. Anyway, so just had to add that in. So her homegirl and her kicking it in the parking lot, which I've done this before, you know, kicked it in the parking lot with my homegirl, drink a beer. Anyways, so they're drinking, they're having fun. She's starting to like talk to her homegirl about shit, and you know, they get a little tipsy and they get hungry, and they're like, oh, let's go to Jack in the Box real quick, like Jack in the Crack real quick, you know, 2 a.m. type shit. So they drive to Jack in the Box. As soon as she gets to Jack in the Box, that food calls. Like, oh man, I could just totally feel the scaredness when she was telling me in the story. As she got immediately so nervous, because she knew that the way that fool was always accusing her of shit, calling her a hoe and all this shit. He top it off, he's drunk, you know, and she's gone. So like, just her fucking luck, As soon as they get to Jack in the Box, he calls. She's scared. She's nervous. She doesn't answer because she's nervous. She's like, let's just get home really quick because we weren't gone for too long. But he was asleep the whole time, so the bastard didn't know. So finally, like, they pull up and he's outside. And then she says she's really nervous. Like, she's shaking. And she said that he asked her, like, where the fuck were you? She could already tell, like, he was, like, mad. And she said, like, shakingly, she said she was shaking, nervous, because she knew that he was abusive. And she told him, like, all I did was drink in the carport and we went to go get Jack in the Box. And he was like, get your fucking ass in the house. As she turned to go back into the house, he pushes her really hard to the ground. Damn. I was like, oh my God, girl. So, she says that then when she gets up, she said that she didn't even want to fight with him. And she just, like, kept walking till she wanted to get back in the house. And that he pushed her again. Basically, like, pushed her again. When they got in the house, he started fucking her up. And then, you know, she said that night she was fucking fed up with it. Like, she was really, like, done. She said that she had finally had enough. And she was going to leave him. I think she did leave him. From what I remember. And then she said that, so then, like, she was gonna leave him, right? But then she came back with an update. So I can't remember kind of, like, what that part was, if she left him or not. I can't remember if she said she left him or she did leave him. But the update was that she gets a call. She gets a call from him one night. He's drunk. He sounds drunk. And he tells her that he hit himself really hard. And that he didn't know where the fuck that he was. And somehow they found him and he was fucked up. He fell from an 8-story building or some shit like that. 8-foot building, I'm not sure. These tacos are bomb. And this chili is really bomb too. The fries are not like, oh my God, super bomb. That's why I'm like not eating them that much. But just because they're not crispy. But the guacamole has a lot of flavor. If the fries were a little bit more crispy, they'd be bomb. Anyway, so he got in a fucking tragic ass accident. And this fool ended up in a fucking coma, having to, you know, relearn how to walk, relearn how to talk. She said that fool didn't even know who his son was. She said that ever since that whole tragic accident happened, And he's been rehabilitated, and he's learned how to like walk and talk again and all that stuff. She's been there with him through the whole way. It's been like 2 months, and he hasn't even wanted alcohol. Um, she said it's been pretty good, but she said that she still can't forgive him in her heart, in her mind. Which I totally understand that. Oh, because he's also cheated on her. So a part that I skipped a big major part. So that he was cheating on her as well with his ex-girlfriend, with a couple of his exes. So he was cheating, abusing, drinking. She found so much shit on this fool that it was just like, oh my god, you know. And I was just like, for me, how I feel about it is like karma. You know, that's the first thing that just popped in my head, and that I knew. It's just like, don't ever feel like you could do something and get away with it, because the universe is not going to let you get away with it. It's really not. And you might be thinking that you should get away with it for a little while. But believe me, I've seen karma so many times. You know, my 32 years of living is a long time. Ever since I was a little girl, even before I could understand what was going on, I seen karma working, and I was just like, wow, that's so crazy. This person was doing this. You know, because when you're little, you see so much. Like, you see, people think you don't know what's going on, and people think that they could do shit in front of you, and you don't know what's going on. And then you see them being like a bad person. You see people doing bad things behind other people's backs. Then you see them later on, like, oh shit, what happened to that person? Like, damn, that's what happened to that person. Like, wow, like, that person really was not a good person, you know? And all I have to say is, like, karma's a bitch, and karma came back, and yeah, it's fucked up what happened to him, but at the same time, it's like, you were being fucked up to the person that really loved you, you know? She said that she really loved him. She did so much for him. She was such a good woman to him, cooking, cleaning, and he still wanted to fuck up on her. And you know what? Everybody gets their karma in different ways. And if you're going through something like that right now, and you're going through like maybe an ungrateful ass, bastard ass fool that's in your life, just remember, pray on it. Don't try to get back at him yourself, because that's skipping karma. I would say stay humble, stay real, stay focused. Try to leave. You know, I know it's hard sometimes. People are very stuck in shit and they can't. Just pray and ask God to give you the strength to get out of that situation, and I know that he will. And at the end of the day, don't ever think that that person is getting away with shit, because they never will. Okay, it's not gonna happen. Okay, it's just not gonna fucking happen for you. They're not gonna get away with it. So don't think that if you leave and you leave him and he acts like he's happy without you. No, honey. Or her. It could be a girl too. It could be a guy going through it with a fucked up female. Don't think that she's getting away with shit. Don't think that she's winning or whatever, or you're losing. You're not. You're gonna win when you leave them and you see karma. Karma's a bitch. I'm gonna tell you. I truly believe in it. I truly believe in karma. And I feel like in some way, sometimes I feel like I have also felt karma, which that's a whole other story. I've also had been a victim of karma. And I don't know, I think that karma's not picky, and it doesn't forgive. Like, karma does not forgive. Like, that bitch comes and it doesn't matter, because I did some shit when I was younger that I regret, and I'm like, fuck, I really like did this, and I'm like, oh shit, why did I do that? Like, why did I do that? Like, I was young, I was dumb, I didn't know what I was doing. Karma, like, I didn't know. But karma still came back and got my ass and said, girl, you don't matter what age, what mindset you was in, I'm coming back for you. And I was just like, damn, I'm a believer. I'm a true believer. But with that being said, I love you guys. Stay chunky because chunky is beautiful. I hope you like this video. I will be in my original spot next video because this spot I'm just not feeling it. But we gotta do what we gotta do for the mukbang. So peace out.